Hi everyone, I'm so glad to be back with you live. As you can see, the messy bun won in the hair contest, and boy is it really messy. I've been on the beach all day. It was up higher, it looked amazing, but it's just dropped back down. So I'm Adrienne Everheart, and I'm going to talk about 5 characteristics that make you incredibly desirable by men and just really make a man want to crave you, want to be with you, and spend time with you. And these are qualities that all get you higher up on that pedestal. You are in your feminine energy, high on your pedestal, and the man can sense that and feel that. I believe he can sense it even from your dating profile. So it's a quality that comes across in your profile, in your writing, and definitely in your conversations in a date, and even if you're married or in a relationship. I talk about the goddess unicorn, and what the goddess unicorn is, it's really a small percentage of women who really understand what feminine energy is. They really get it, and they're able to use it in the world to better their relationships with men. And to a man, you are like a unicorn. You're a different type of woman that he's attracting, other than a lot of other women out there who are reactive or pursuing the man or in their masculine energy. The wind is really picked up just now, and I'm curious if you can all hear me or if I should go inside and do this video. If someone in the message could just pop up and tell me. So I'm going to talk about what really makes you this goddess unicorn, and what qualities you're going to have that a man is going to find really attractive. Oh, great. You can hear me. Excellent. So I lost my page in my book. Here we go. So the first one is that you don't buy into the hype. Now, what do I mean by you don't buy into the hype? Thank you, everyone. When you don't buy into the hype, this means that you're not buying whatever magazine tells you to buy, whatever commercial tells you to buy. You're not jumping on any belief that comes around, including gurus that come around. You are criticisms even of yourself. You don't really buy into them unless they have their own. I get to that a little bit more, but unless that they can be proven to you or shown to you that this criticism is something you should absolutely believe about yourself or take some grain of truth from, because I believe there is a grain of truth in everything. So recently a client came to me who had practiced the rules for the last 4 or 5 years, and she had even became a rules coach. And this is with all respect to the rules. I think there's some really good advice in the rules, but she told me that I never felt right doing this way, because apparently in the rules, which I don't know a lot about, it said that if a man pulls back, you pull back even more. And so it becomes like a chess game in a way, a weird avoidant chess game. And sure enough, she lost this man, and we're really not sure if it was because that she was practicing these rules or if there was just something else going on with the man. It's probably a little bit of everything. So that's a good example of buying into the hype, is that you're doing something that in your body doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like that's what you should be doing. So goddess unicorn, you're totally irresistible. All men desire you. One of the factors that you have is that you do not buy into the hype. You are independent with your thinking and your mind, and you trust your gut, ladies. Okay? So that's part of feminine energy. Now, if you want to attend my dating class with me, that's going on in just a couple of days. I'll post the link before. It is my Fem Tools class. These Fem Tools are very inexpensive classes, and if you're really wanting to get it all, I encourage you, just go for it and take this one-day class with me. It's recorded and it'll be posted for you to view later if you cannot attend live. Moving on to number 2. Goddess unicorn, you're desirable by all men, and you have this quality that just really attracts and draws men to you. And that quality is you have a strong will. You don't accept no very easily, in terms of things that you want in your life. So I really liken this to when you have your GPS set on your car and you know where you're going. Nothing's really going to stop you other than the road breaking in half. You know, you're going to get there, and it's just a matter of time. This is true for your dating and relationship life. If you want your marriage to improve, set your GPS to every day my marriage is getting better and stronger and more loving. If you want your dating life to improve and you want to attract a really quality partner to you, set your GPS to that sort of man that you want, you see. You want to set your GPS to that. Have a strong will that you are going to get there. Now, your strong will can also be in terms of your career, your self-development, and especially when naysayers say nay, you do what you want to do. You do what feels right to you. As long as it's not hurting anyone or anything like that, you got to go live your life, and you got to have a strong will. That makes you very, very attractive. I remember at one point in time, and this is, I don't know why this story has stuck with me, but it really, really has. But at one point in time, I was at this outdoor fair with my family, my mom, my sister, my at the time first husband, and my sister's children. And I realized I forgot my camera in the car, and I love to take photographs and pictures. And my husband said, don't leave, they won't let you go back in. The car is a mile away. I said, absolutely not. I came here wanting to take photos. I'm gonna go get my camera. I left, my husband got mad at me, and I had heard that my sister said to my husband, you can't tell Adrienne anything. Now, I don't know if she meant that good or bad, but it's the damn truth. You can't, because I have a strong will. And once I set my mind onto something, I do it, I get it, it's mine. And I got my camera, and let me tell you, I took some of the best photos of my life that day. So have a strong will, ladies. Don't accept no for an answer. Yes, I'm glad you like the GPS idea. And someone asked about abusive men. I'll talk about that at the end. Number 3, you put yourself first. You're not shy about it, but you don't brag about it either. You don't go around telling everyone, well, I am number 1, y'all. Have you heard? You know, it's in your energy, though, that not that you're selfish or that there's something about you're going to, you know, skip in line or somehow cheat your way to take care of yourself, but you authentically put yourself first. Now, a good example is I get low blood sugar. And I have a couple things going on with me that can give me low blood sugar. But if I don't eat at a certain time or get the right nutrition in my body, I turn into a real mess physically, and I feel terrible. So this is just something that when I would go on a date, if the guy was cooking for me and it was taking forever, or if we were going to eat a late dinner, I would have to tell him, I don't eat dinner that late. I'm going to have a snack before, and I probably will not eat much with you. I put myself first. My health, my wellness comes first. One of my most popular blogs is about being with my first husband when he was driving me down the highway in pouring rain, going 75 miles an hour, and we're skidding all over the road. And I told him, please stop, please slow down. He wouldn't do it. So what do you do in that situation? I said, I'm about to pee my pants. I'm about to pee my pants. And sure enough, he stopped at a gas station. I called a girlfriend. I said, come and get me. Come and get me, because I'm not getting back in the car with him. He immediately came to my side of the car, got down on one knee, and was just begging me to forgive him for this. I'm putting myself first, you see? Just some good examples for you guys to see how this works when you're that goddess unicorn. Now, you might be saying, things didn't work out with your first husband, and they didn't. I didn't have all the resources I have now. I often say that if I did, it would be a different situation. But I'm very much happy with my husband now. We match up a lot better than my first husband and I did. So I'm very happy with how everything turned out in the wash, as they say. Number 4, you know when to meet a man halfway. Occasionally, I get messages from women that it's almost like they're enforcing these feminine energy techniques to the point of like the guy should just know. And they don't. And that's the concept behind the goddess unicorn, you see, is that you are something new to this man. This is a new way of speaking and being, and he doesn't know it. Does that make sense? He doesn't really understand how a woman like you works. Not too long ago, a man that I was interacting with who's just a friend, I don't like to drive at night. I can't see very well. And so I had told him, I said, can you come and pick me up? And he was like, well, it's a long drive for me. And I said, well, I just can't go. Or maybe I'll Uber. I don't know. And he changed his story, you see. So at some point, though, if I was going to be like a real ball buster, you can use feminine energy to be a real ball buster with someone. You can make them line for line stick with everything that they're supposed to do, and you're going to be greatly disappointed. So I want you to know when to use these concepts and know what you're feeling in your body, but be able to tap into that body. And this goes back to not buying into the hype. Know when to tap into your body and say, should I press this issue? Should I really, really force this issue? Or is this something I can meet halfway on? So you see, you want to be able to get into your body and find out what you're feeling. This is key. This is why this work is honest work. It's the most honest work you're ever going to do in your life because it comes from your body. You begin to recognize even when you're being selfish. There have been times I've told my husband, I am absolutely being selfish in this moment, but it's what I want. And if he doesn't want to go along with it, I use my strong will and I go do it myself. You see how it works? Okay? So, you know when to meet a guy halfway versus having it all your way. It's not what it's about. Feminine energy woman is an intelligent woman who's able to examine the situations and observe the situations and people around her, especially including herself. This work begins and ends with how you feel. Okay? So you've got to get in touch with how you feel. Number 5, and then I'm going to take a couple questions, okay? You choose you every time. Now, you might be thinking, in every one of these, Adrienne, you're choosing you, and you're right. But you choose you every time over any man or relationship. I'm talking about self-respect. I'm talking about dignity. I'm talking about dignified behavior, always acting like a lady, behaving like a lady. There was a time in my life where I did not behave like a lady. I would scream, yell, shout at my guy, throw a tantrum, get out of the car, want to walk home, all that sort of drama. Because that's all I knew. And that's all a lot of us know, is that when it really push comes to shove, we play that card, you see. So this is where I want you to learn that you choose you every time, including your behavior with the man. Be a lady, act like a lady, speak like a lady, be a woman, be a goddess on her pedestal. You're not a tyrant. So there's a difference. I want to just make sure everyone understands the difference, okay? Now, at one point in time, I caught myself driving about a 45-minute one-way trip to go see a man that I really liked, but I'm pretty sure was only interested in me sexually, because I was going over to his house at 11 o'clock at night, and I was almost to his house, and I was like, what am I doing? The body was saying yes. The body was like, let's do this, let's go have fun with this guy. But a deeper part of me said, no, this is not who you are. You don't give up all your values. You don't sacrifice your dignity to just go have an experience with some man that you know you're catching feelings for and that you're, getting over invested with, and he doesn't want anything to do with you, and he doesn't. So I called him up. I let him know. He was very, very disappointed. But later on, I will have you know that this same man contacted me probably about 6 months later, basically just confessing to me that there was no other woman like me, that he had really missed out, that if he could go back in time and do things differently with me, he would, all that stuff. And he knew I had a new partner in my life, He knew all of that. So this is what we're doing, ladies, okay? Beer says, the problem is, I feel like it's my fault somehow because it happened to me twice and wrecked my self-esteem. Like I said, there's a grain of truth in everything. If you keep having a recurring problem, it's one of two things. You're doing something and we got to figure out what it is, and you got to use your tools to, find out what it is. But it's also real easy to blame yourself. And the man, when he can't face up to the challenges or the changes in the relationship, they'll sometimes they will always blame us. I'll just say always there. They will blame us. And that's just what they do. It's a defense mechanism they have. The second thing is your guy picker could be really off. You could be just attracted to men that are super bad for you because there's something familiar to them. We usually recreate our childhoods. And so if you, for example, had a parent that was really distant, that was really hot, cold, was kind of in and out of your life, you may attract a partner who behaves that way. Or if you had an abusive family member, not even physically, but emotionally, mentally, you may attract an abusive partner. If you grew up with parents who yelled, you may yell yourself. Or you may attract a partner who yells, or a partner that pushes you until you yell. So you see how these are all interconnected? You can blame yourself all day long. You can do that. It's not very attractive. It's not attractive. And I want you to just forgive yourself for whatever you think you said or you did wrong, and decide, I'm going to start over. And that starts with how you talk to yourself, what you're thinking about yourself. So today, instead of blaming yourself, I want you to just decide you love yourself. You just love every part of yourself. And you might have screwed up in the past, but that is over. And today is a new day, and I'm going to own it. I'm going to own it like a goddess unicorn. All right? So I'm going to go back and peek at my questions here. Thank you, Eunice. Somebody said, what about a woman who proposed to a man? I mean, did it work out? That's my question. Let's see. Any more questions? Because I got to go, you guys. Okay, Whatever's Lovely says, I was married to 12 years to someone who mostly rejected me. So was is the operative word. You're no longer married to them. You were married to them. And so that is stuff that's just over and done with, and it's out of your life now. You're on to something new. Okay. Someone says, my husband is no longer sexually interested in me. What should I do? I love that question, because this work begins and ends with how you feel. So you create this cycle, and you can apply this to everything, but you create a cycle. So the more you notice your husband isn't coming your way, the more your husband doesn't come your way. The more you want to figure out why he doesn't come your way or work on him, the further he goes away, all right? So you have to start with thinking about sex as much as you want. And think about sex as much as you want. Look at photos of really attractive guys. Go to the park and watch all the guys running in the park with their shirts off. Just really start to think about sex as much as you want to. And do things that feel good to your body. That could be go get a professional massage, take a nice bubble bath, touch yourself, pleasure yourself. Make sure that you're getting touched and that you're feeling good. Stroking your own skin and giving yourself these little moments of this tactile pleasure, okay? So you're gonna start feeling good and feeling touched and feeling loved. And it's gonna change your vibe and it's gonna change your energy. I want you to start to fantasize about your husband a little bit, and fantasize about him coming up to you and kissing you and hugging you and holding you. And when you're around him, I want you to make sure you have your feminine energy wide open. I talk about relaxing the birth canal and letting that birth canal widen, and making sure that you're relaxed below your belly button into your pelvis area. And even your butt, make sure your butt cheeks are all relaxed. And if that doesn't work, walk around the house naked a lot. Something's gonna happen then. Okay, I'll take one more question and then I gotta run. Let's see here. Oh, do I have any movie recommendations that showcase strong feminine characters that inspire us to tap into our feminine energy? So there is a movie called The Female Brain. I believe it's called The Female Brain, and it came out within the last 2 years or so. And I love this movie because it's scientific, but it's a comedy. And you will see women pursuing the man not working out. It has that beautiful Spanish actress that's married to, I know her husband's name, Joe. Somebody type in the chat if you know what I'm talking about. My mind's drawing a blank. But she's in it, and her husband, sure enough, is losing, not Selma. She's also in that television show that's on, Sofia Vergara. And her husband is Joe something. I know he's real fine. So, so is she. They're a great couple. But anyway, her husband has lost interest in her in the movie. There's another girl that really wants to be with this one particular guy, but he's hot and cold. Go check out, I think it's just called The Female Brain. And if I find the link, Joe Manganiello. That's him. He'll just come up in my chat if I type in Joe. If I type in J, his name will come up in my Google search. All right, everybody. I hope I've answered all your questions today. And these tips have been very, very helpful. Remember, this is about you being your top priority, how you feel and what's going on inside your body. That is the truest answer to any question you may have, is what do I feel in my body? Women pay me for coaching, and I get them on the phone, I listen to what's going on, and I ask them, what do you feel? What are you feeling? And then they tell me about the man some more. And I go, okay, what are you feeling? Not what are you feeling about that man, what are you feeling? And that's where your answer is, okay? Oh, Jason Momoa. Oh, we're having a comparison between Joe or Jason Momoa for the Aquaman. I don't know. That's a good question. You guys discuss in the chat below. I would like to see the answer for that poll. All right, everybody. I've had a great chat with you all. Join my FEM class. It's very inexpensive. It starts May 4th, and the price changes in a couple of days. So get it now. It's very inexpensive. And I love y'all too. Mwah. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.